So often when we come to church, Mass, we're confronted with the question, what is it that you really want? When we begin our prayers with God and we have a list of all the things that we need, which is always good, God always wants to hear that, and we have a list of all the people that we want to remember and pray for, and it's a loving kindness to pray for people, living and dead. That's a beautiful thing, but then if ultimately we come to that point where it's just us before God, the more time we have, that's why we should give ourselves a good long time, like this past week when we had 40 hours. Each one of us had an hour. It's a good time because you get beyond the little things, the things we always ask for, and you're able to go a little bit deeper. Something that I recommend that you do on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis, but on a weekly basis, that you spend an hour before the Lord, because then you're able to mention all those things that very much occupy your mind and your heart, but then you're able to go even deeper than that. You're able to go to that place where you say to yourself, what do I really want? We have in the Gospels a story of a Canaanite woman who comes before the Lord and she knows exactly what she wants. And she is bound and determined to have him respond to her. That's the way that we should pray. Whenever you start to drift in your prayer or become distracted, just remember that, ask the Canaanite woman to pray with you. Pray with me. Keep me intent on pursuing the Lord, because this is what I really want. And then in that prayer, we won't get sidetracked. We won't get lost. What I think is beautiful about this woman's example is that there is even this, she's calling out, and she's calling to him with Jewish titles for the Messiah. She's calling out to him in her faith. This is what she's believed. She's had time to take in the news, right? Jesus had to be a phenomenon, and so people are talking about him and how he can heal people and how he knows their hearts and many other things, and how he speaks with authority and how he has multiplied loaves and fishes and all of these things that he's done. So she's heard that, but then she's taken it in, and she has truly come to a point of faith. And she's calling out to him with titles of the Messiah. A non-Jewish woman using those titles, calling out to him. Now, you and I who know the heart of Jesus, being his friends, we know that caught his attention. But not just his attention, it grabbed his heart to have this woman calling out to him. But he takes the opportunity to sort of show her and to show us what's not important and how easily distracted we are. So in our prayer, we have decided what that one thing is that we truly want or need. But then we get distracted by everything else. She's not distracted. And he tries to sort of move her off. Move her off the point. You know how many of us at works, in our prayer, we give up. We give up. The Lord has encouraged us to persevere. And He goes, those people who persevere in prayer, those are the ones who have their prayers answered. And we give up at times. We give up. So the Lord tries to distract her. I've come for the children of Israel. Please, Lord, well, it's not right to throw the food of the children to the dogs. Scripture scholars, he might have used a word like the family pet kind of thing. Doesn't make a difference, kind of. It still had to sting a little bit for everybody else, but not her. She is not distracted. Now, this is what I want you to think about. How many times have your feelings been offended? How many times have you given up because you've been distracted? Wait a minute. God can't say that to me. God can't do that to me. Really? Who are you? You're nobody. You're nothing. St. Teresa of Avila, that great mystic, had it correct. She said, I am nothing, God is everything. And she had it correct where she was comparing herself to God, the creature to the Creator. Sure, if you compare yourself to me, you're a saint, you're a genius, you're really good looking. But what does that do for you? Nothing. I'm not going to answer your prayers. If I hurt your feelings, fine, you can come up to me and say, Father, you hurt my feelings. Do you know how long that line is? Oh my goodness. You don't have time. Father, you hurt my feelings on purpose. Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I don't get it, right? Just thick as dirt. But God, He can say whatever He wants to you. Everything you have and are comes from Him. If part of your being or your ego is reacting to that now, that's what you need to work on. Before God, you can have none of that. You cannot claim rights before God. He has given you everything. You can claim rights before me, before any one of your brothers and sisters, before the state, before whomever you want. Yes, you have rights. Before God, you have nothing. It's not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs. You're right, Lord. It's not. If my mother had done that any given night for dinner, I would have been really, really upset. We had a couple dogs that would eat everything. I would have been upset, Lord. But here she is. Lord, even the dogs eat the scraps. Even the dogs eat the crumbs. You know what that calls to mind? The Eucharist. Do you know what we believe about the crumbs? The Lord is present there even in the crumbs. He's fully present. Body and blood, soul and divinity. That's why I'm so careful with the crumbs. That's why you and I have to be so vigilant with the crumbs, because that's Jesus. Even the crumbs of this meal are the eternal God. And here she is longing just for the crumbs. It's happened to me, it's happened to you. Sometimes we come up to communion and somebody has miscalculated, and now we don't have enough hosts, so we start breaking them. And you're thinking, wait a minute, I've had any number of people say it to me, joking, oh, I only got part of one today. Don't worry. Next time, sometimes they stick together, you'll get two. Okay? Even in that littlest crumb, you're getting everything you need. You're getting the infinite God and all His blessings. Lord, even the dogs get to eat the scraps that fall from the table of their masters. What a wonderful attitude to have before our God. We come before Him, sitting patiently. Once upon a time, I had a black lab, and he would just sit there and look at me. I'd talk to him. He had those eyes like he understood. I know, Father Peter, it's hard. Life is difficult. Nobody understands you but me. But he would sit there forever. What a beautiful attitude for us to have before the Lord. Here I am, Lord, just sitting at your feet. You know my heart. I'm just waiting. If a few crumbs fall from the table, that's everything for me. Jesus responds, "O woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish." And the woman's daughter was healed from that hour. We go back to the beginning. What is it that you want? Learn from this woman how to get it from the Lord. You don't stand on your rights. You don't worry about your feelings. You just sit at the feet of the Lord begging. And that is irresistible to the heart of our loving God.